point of this podcast and every episode going forward is going to be real time. Me talking about my journey in the runs from fast days, slow days, recovery days, injuries, you name it, whatever happens, I'll talk about it. Some episodes might be an hour, some episodes might be a few minutes check in. I have no script on how I'm going to do this. I only have thought about doing something like this for a while, and I tried starting one about maybe a year or two ago and didn't believe in myself. What's changed? I have made a commitment to myself that, and to you, the audience, whoever is listening. If you go to my Instagram page, you'll see it. Currently, right now, it's Run Free and Live. Maybe I'll change it because I had another name before and I changed it. But currently, I'm ticking up the actual times and I'm using the actual Instagram as my way of being accountable. And I found that when I'm accountable to somebody else sometimes, it helps me keep going because I could always say, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll start tomorrow. Or you know what, I won't give it my all in this run. I can stop a little early. And I found that posting on Instagram every single day, I post once a day, been doing that ever since I started a little over 6 months ago. And I tell my times, pace, how far I've gone, the miles, and how I feel, and my thoughts. Some are big, some are small. It's just whatever's going on there. And I've noticed that it's a good reference point to look back on where I've come and some of the thoughts I've had on certain days and on the pace I've been. But the other thing I've noticed has been a good thing is there are times when I wanted to like stop, and I said, no, don't stop. And when you ask yourself why, it's because I have to post that the honest because I don't want to lie. I don't ever want to lie on there and say I did something I didn't, or didn't do something and I did, or vice versa, whatever the case may be. I don't want to lie about that or say anything wrong. So believe it or not hitting a certain point makes me feel weird to post it and say I didn't hit something. So now I'm 10 seconds slower than the last run, and I had to post that and explain what happened. And it's being accountable. Before, all I had to do was run. It didn't work out, it didn't work better. No one knew but me. And as the years go by, no one ever would know about that run. But now I'm being accountable to other people. Even though if it's only a few people that look at it or people that like it, whatever it is, it's still something. And one day, someone's going to go through that all the way to the beginning, look at every little thing and start dissecting certain parts of it, possibly. And I just want to be honest as it goes forward. And being accountable helps me keep it going forward. So I thought that a podcast would be a better way, not a better way, be another way to explain myself. Because I'm hoping that by the end of this journey, of this section I'm trying to go for, that you don't think that people out there are as unique as you may think they are. I am perfect example of not uniqueness when it comes to something. I may be unique as in my desire to do something. I may be different when it comes to my approach, but was I born one way? Was I given the best stuff? No. But there is no excuses, and I keep looking back on the excuses I have made to why I am where I am. Homeless, drop out. Well, drop out of college, yes, after going through the master's program and stuff like that. But I did graduate high school after even I flirted with the idea of dropping out and didn't do it, but I did graduate. However, homeless. I know it's like to drinking so much that you black out and don't remember for days. Rehab, suicide, multiple times in my life. I know it's like to lose people through death and also by other means. I know it's like to not want to be here or what's the point of you here. And I do have a unique way of looking at suicide than I think anyone else has ever talked about. And maybe one day I'll talk about that. Go, you'll notice as I ramble through these podcasts that I have a lot of ideas and thoughts, and I'm just hoping that I can put them down here, and somebody, or maybe no one even has to listen. Just wait for me to get out there. But what I want to talk about, I'm talking about. Bottom line, I'm on this journey, and it's insane. It's crazy. And the way I'm going about it is so different than anybody else will ever do. And let me point out why it's insane. First of all, I wasn't born a runner. I had to create it. Second of all, my running, okay, let's go back to I wasn't born a runner. Some people like they were running as the kids, he's always running around the house and everything. That wasn't me. I was the opposite, lazy, fat boy. Overweight my whole life, obese, if you will, over 200 pounds most of my childhood. Pushed in 300 by the time when I finally decided that it's time to cut the weight off. And I cut back and I finally lost all the weight and everything. When you start seeing yourself get huge and you get name calling and stuff, I'm one of those people that do think name calling can actually be a good thing. Or fat, I don't call it fat shaming. I'm calling it like people, it's your health. I mean, I've seen people have the health deteriorate because they overate, ate the wrong stuff. Like you can overeat the right stuff and still gain weight, like salads, I guess. But it's if you eating the wrong stuff, like I used to have a dozen donuts for breakfast. Didn't think anything was wrong with that. Now I understand why it is. That's part of it though. That's why it's like I'm so not cut out for this running thing, this running journey. Um, my mindset was so wrong. I'm actually in the process of cleaning my mind up, reading books. I started with Carol Dweck's mindset book, moved on to other books like I finished You Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins, um, Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink. I'm currently reading. Oh, I also finished Grit by I can't think of the person's name right now, but that's a great book as well. I'm trying to retrain my mind, and I'm learning meditation actually, trying to learn meditation to kind of clear my mind and move forward. It's kind of what got me into starting this podcast and what made me go. I should have started yesterday. I know I should have on Sunday. Today's Monday, December 9th, but I was going to start yesterday because I really started listening to Tony Robbins, and I've gotten to a couple. I remember in 2015, I went to Tony Robbins event in New York, and I went to the purpose either he'll fix me or I die. That was that was my plan. And was it the greatest plan? No, probably not. And I'm still here, so it's like, well, he didn't really mean it. No, I meant it. I remember being there with a couple people that right before the event started on Saturday, where I was in the back seats paying the minimum, and they put me up in diamond in the front row to experience Saturday to kind of change my mind about suicide because I was like gonna go that night. And I do think sometimes when we talk about it and we speak out about suicide, some of us talk about it just because we kind of don't want to do it. Probably, possibly deep down we don't, but there are times we do. I'll get into that one day about the suicide. But anyway, I'm not your typical runner. I've said it already. And nothing in my past or any of the people I grew up with could even contest to this part about me. I got more into runners in high school, and they saw me running everywhere, which I did, and I probably could have done it there, but I dropped off the map. And I'll get into more of that probably later. But I'm not looking at me. I probably don't look like a runner. Maybe a little bit. I'm small. I'm a small guy. I'm only 5'8", 150 pounds, maybe a little less than that. I got down this way, but I'm pretty strong. I mean, pull up wise and push up wise is what I like to do a lot more, and I do that. My most pull ups I ever had was 45 at one time without stopping. Push ups is I think 130 without stopping if I remember correctly. But I'm not your average runner. But I hope at the end of this journey, you guys will, you people, or just people in general who listen can understand, and listen to me, and that even a crazy person like me, as you listen to all these episodes, if I can do something, you all can do it. There's no excuse out there. And I'm about to prove why there's no excuse. Because all I'm doing is going to work, eating, sleeping, paying a place to live, and then running. That's it. No friends. I don't have any. I just moved to this new area about 6 weeks ago. Don't know nobody here except my roommates, who I don't see that much, my landlord, and my coworkers. That's it. I'm not partying. I have no girlfriend, no wife, no children. I'm putting everything into this. And yeah, you probably could say you need to get a life. This is me getting a life because it's the only thing I can think of. Because I'd rather die than not do anything else. Because it's just there's no point of living at that point, to me at least. So my mindset's a little jacked up if you haven't seen, and maybe I'll share a bit later as we move through this. Next thing, I'm not built like a runner. Flat feet, I hardly, I don't really got knees. I mean, you have the kneecaps. I got a bone there, but the way it's all positioned is so different than it's supposed to be. Bow-legged. I have one leg bigger than the other, I've realized. So that's all jacked up. I'm pigeon-toed, which means my left foot pigeons in when I run, so that I don't run really perfectly. I also don't. It's weird because people think it's odd when I run because I run with my hamstrings on my quads. It's kind of weird. I am attempting to try to change up a little bit because I am putting a lot of pressure on my hamstrings when I run. So body mechanics, I am not the right body mechanics when it comes to running. Another reason why this journey is so crazy is my theory on how to run is different than anybody else is doing in the world. Right now, the idea of running or playing a sport is you have your off season, right? It's mostly like a year cycle, or maybe it's 6 month cycle, however you look at it. You have your off season, then you have your conditioning season, where you condition, you get the miles down. Then you go into your speed sessions or conditioning where you do it's a little weird. So let me start over. You have your off season where it's recovery. You're doing a little bit of stuff, keeping up with the fitness, but not really intense, giving the muscles a break. Then you go into mileage, where you're adding the mileage to get your base. Then you switch over into where you're doing track work, long runs, short runs, you're doing different stuff. And then you fine tune towards the end, and then you race. I'm skipping all that. I concluded my runs. I didn't do a conditioning phase for a few months, get miles down, and then go. I started with a few miles fast. I did two fast, one slow. I did that for like 5 months, and there were some times I went for days and days with no days off. Did it get ahead of me? Yeah, it did. And eventually, muscles do kind of need recovery. But I've noticed over the years when I get under 7 mile pace, like where I'm in right now. Currently, I'm running around 650, 645 mile pace right now for 4 miles. And I'm noticing when you get that fast, you need more recovery days. I can't run. I was running back to back. So try to do this pace like I did today. I did an average of 640 mile pace, 4 miles. Now, trying to do the same thing tomorrow is some people say is an idiot move. But the past 5 months, that's what I've been doing. Fast days, and then do it again. When you do the second fast day, it's a lot harder because your muscles are tight and everything. But it trained me that you can actually do it. It's not impossible. But what I've gotten to learn is I need more recovery time. But it's still different than anything out there. So basically, all I'm doing is very simple. 2 days a week, I'm doing fast. These are tempo runs. No track where I'm doing miles repeats, 800s, 400s, no ladders, no Indian sprints, nothing like that at all. I'm doing 2 fast days, and at the end of those fast runs, I'm sprinting. And it's almost like a progression fast where you're at one pace, and then when you have 2 miles, when you get towards the end, you're picking up to the point where you're sprinting the last lap. And I want you to go out. I want you to be keeled over when you're done. That's what I want, because I want those legs to burn, like Schwarzenegger's on a call about. And then you do recovery days for every other day, right? So right now, I'm currently Monday and Thursday are my fast days. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday are recovery runs where it's about 2 minutes or slower that you're running slower. And just recover, get the legs, you're turning legs over, getting the miles down, but just getting the muscles loosened up. On Saturday is my long run, where I try to do about a minute slower than my fast run. And every 4 to 5 weeks, we add a mile. So this week was the first time I did 10 miles. So every month, roughly, I'll be adding a mile. So in 5 months, I'll be at 15. In 10 months, I'll be at 20. That's the point about it, right? And the reason why the long run is not as slow, is not slower, is because I'm trying to get 3 fast runs in, but also long run. I don't want to do the fast run at 4 miles and try to do 20 miles of that, or 10 miles of that, or long run of that. It's not good. But I need to have it slower, but I want to go long. So I'm training my body to go fast for the 4 miles, get that turnover. But then I also want it to go long, but I want to also keep it a pace where it's fast. And I've noticed 45 seconds to a minute is a good pace to go long and fast, and it's really challenging. And then what I did before when I did my first marathon in San Antonio years ago, it's over a decade ago now. I did it where I would do one day off a week, Sunday, where I would do a complete rest day and get the legs off. And I noticed it was great, plus stretching and all between. Completely different than the outside world out there who does their little races. Completely different way of doing it. The other thing that's different about all those people out there is sponsorships. I'm probably never going to have a sponsor when it comes to this. I'd probably be the oldest that ever do what I'm about to do. I'm going to be the one with no sponsors because I've looked into sponsorships, and most of your sponsors want you after in high school. They want you in college, maybe at 25. But once you're 30, they don't want to put you. There's people that are Olympics now that are in their 30s, and it's close to their 40s. They got no sponsors. I mean, the sponsors they have people that have them. They start in the 20s, they sponsor them, and then they get to the 40s. They keep the sponsor, but they've had them for years. Um, Maybe that will change, but as of right now, I don't see any sponsor happening for me. And I bet you most people are going to look at me and go, he's not going to make it. Even the first attempt I have, when I get out there and what I'm about to do, I go out, he's going to blow up. He's going to do this. All these speculations, not going to believe it. What I'm here to tell you today on this episode, I already see what's coming and I'm going for it. And another reason why this is crazy, the mile pace. I want to run 4 minutes 11 seconds for 13 miles to break 55-minute half marathon, which is 54 minutes and 59 seconds. I have to run a 4:11 mile pace to do that. What's even crazier is I think we can do a 4-minute mile pace or 2:59 for 13 miles. I think it's possible. Now, you know how hard it is to do a 4-minute mile, and people are hard. Now imagine holding that for another 12 miles. That's insane, right? Well, you've just seen a month or so ago where Kipchoge, I hope I'm saying his name right, just held under a 4.5-minute mile for 26. It's not that far of a stretch in the mind to go faster. The problem is you have to train for it. In this day and age, we compete. Like you have baseball, basketball, hockey, they have their time, they move a lot, and then they have to recover. Football, all these sports, they have all these things we have to cover from. With running, you have to be strategic in your races. You have to be. There's no way around it. So for me, I cannot race for like 3 years. I can do these little tune-up runs and everything to see where I'm at and stuff, but you have to go after a certain race. Because what's going to happen is when you go after a half marathon or a marathon itself, when you finish it, you have to recover. And most of your elites, when they run a marathon, they can't walk for 3 weeks. Right. They can walk, but it's very slow and everything. After 3 weeks, they can finally get going to do a little jogging and stuff. And maybe a month goes by, maybe 6 weeks go by before they're going. That's 6 weeks of no fast running. They lose some of their stamina, some of their fitness. They're still faster than most people, but they lose it back. So if I run these races and I do a cycle like most of these people, I will never get there. Or I will. It'll take about 10 years. The way to cut through all that is to run and not race until you're ready, that pace, which means I might run a 5K at a fast pace. I might run a 10K, but there's no half marathon race that's going to be that fast until I'm under an hour for a half marathon. And even people that run under an hour, they probably can recover better. It's been a while since I've run a half. In training, I ran it last year, but I've run under an hour. The heck, I haven't even run under an hour 15, but I'll get there. So those are the things that I'm not up against. Those are the things, the wall I have to climb over, the barriers I have to break down. But think about it. If I do, 4 minutes 11 seconds. It's a 12:33 5,000. It's 8:22 2 mile. Records are meant to be broken, right? It's insane to think about it. And I don't want to keep you guys going too late tonight, and it is a little evening here, but I want to thank you for this journey, and I want to wish you all well in your journey for what you're doing. Hopefully, this episode, whenever you do listen to it, gives you a little kick in the gives you a kick and pushes you forward. I don't want you to have to be drag your feet there. I want you to be pushed forward by motivation, by desire, which is why I'm training my mind a lot more than I ever did. I do believe things are possible. However, when you're in the moment, your belief can wane, which is why I'm listening to Tony Robbins, Eric Thomas. I do listen to him. He's awesome. I listen to Zig Ziglar, Jim Rohn, um, and all the other motivational speakers out there. My influences right now: Impact Theory, Lewis Howes, Joe Rogan, London Real. Even though I want to smack him upside the head, I don't want to say that to be rude to him, but me and him have our differences. But his stuff has introduced me to some people that have helped me in my mind. Valuetainment has been a big lifesaver for me, kicking me forward. Motivation videos online. There's a couple different videos out there, that motivation channels that help me get through. What got me started last night, really, and it got me this morning, was that I Am the Voice and I Am a Gladiator and Freedom by Tony Robbins. Day with Destiny, it changed me, but I didn't get fully the change. I'm hoping to bring the change back and bring the meditation forward and get my mind where I need to go. Because I've learned the body and the mind have to be one, but they're also in two different spheres, is kind of what I'm learning. And so we have to make sure the mind and the body are going the same direction. But I want to make sure my mind can create the body, and my body can create the mind. That's kind of what I'm doing as well. I thank you for the first episode. I'm kind of like feeling at the end of this talk, but more to come. And some episodes you might like, some episodes you might not, but it's out there for you to listen. And thank you for your time. Oh, and by the way, first run today, fast run. Saturday's run was on the 7th of December, which is Pearl Harbor, believe it or not, that's Pearl Harbor's anniversary. It sounds horrible, but I miss those guys. Veteran here, military, Army and Navy, CB, and logistics officer. Anyway, I'll tell my veterans out there, my brothers and sisters in arms, thank you for your service and sacrifice. Oh, another reason I just thought of, they say 22 veterans commit suicide a day and we gotta stop it. The way we're going about it is so, I don't want to say dumb or stupid, because I do feel that they want to help. It's just wrong the way we're going about it. Hopefully one day I can bring my voice to the conversation. I just can't believe I'm talking on this podcast, and sometimes I listen to it. Part of me has doubts, which I'm trying not to have doubts for, but I still have negativity. See, even you that are listening, I have negativity that comes out and it won't stop. It's natural for us to have negativity. I have them right now. It's funny because I don't think I have doubts in the run. Sometimes during the run I have doubts if I can do this or if I want to do it, and I've had doubts for the years. And the only thing that's caused me to go through is like I have nothing else left. No bullshit. The reason why I'm doing all this, I have nothing else to live for, nothing else to die for. This is it. There's no point. And that's my biggest reason to going forward. So as far long as I'm on this earth, when I go, I would have meant something, at least something for someone at least. If I can cause a change in somebody, maybe that'll help. Because no one caused a change in me. Thank you all for listening. The run today was fantastic. Started great. I was shooting for a 6:55. I wasn't sure how I'd feel because I've been running in treadmills for the past months on end. Try running treadmills fast 2 days in a row and one day easy is not easy. It's actually easier, I find, outside because I control the fast run. It's so much better. Plus you have the music in. It's awesome. Anyway, the fast run was great. Did my warm up on the track, got my music going, did the sprint. Oh, I felt alive. It just felt great. And I'll do more check-ins as time goes on. So far today, and this is the fastest I could have gone today. Maybe it could go a little faster, maybe by a few seconds, but Average pace was 6 minutes and 40 seconds per mile for 4 miles. 26:40. This is the world record holder on his journey. Stay tuned. Come with me on the journey as I try to show you that I doubt, I believe in myself, scared out of my mind, going for something that is impossible but yet possible, and hopefully destroy any excuses that I have for myself and that you have too. See you on the next one.